Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to a new episode of Words of Wellness. I'm your host, Yassir Al-Manawi, a clinical therapist. Today, as usual, we talk about human character and human values and the human nature in relation to psychology and spirituality. So today we're going to be talking about what are the characters of the human beings should be made of. Because it's a question that I get asked a lot in clinical setting or therapy setting or therapeutic setting. And the answer is right here with us. The answer is within each and every one of us. And we need to take a look at that. So I have a verse from the Quran that we are going to read the translation of, and then we're going to get right back into our discussion. And that's how the verse goes. And when your Lord said to the angels, Lo, I am about to place a vicegerent in the earth, they said, Will you place therein one who will do mischief and shed blood, while we hum your praise and glorify you? He said, Surely I know which you know not. What does that mean? It means that we are ambassadors here on earth. I'm talking about human beings. All of us, all the human beings are ambassadors on earth. Ambassadors of what? God have put us on this earth as ambassadors. So what do we need to take a look at? A lot of people will come and they don't know their values. They don't know their philosophy. They don't know themselves. So the answer should be easy. It's not all that difficult. What's difficult is to live by it. Because it's always easy to answer something, but it's not easy to apply it into your daily life. So now, in a therapeutic session, when we talk about this, I revert right away into spirituality. The values of psychology and spirituality together. And we talk about, for instance, somebody who would come and ask that question, I simply ask him, well, do you believe in God? Are you a believer? And they say, yes, we do. And then my next question would be, well, if you say so, and if what you're saying is true, what do you do on a daily basis that will indicate that you believe in God? And then, they find out that they're doing a lot of things that could be conflicting with their values, and they do some things that will indicate that they believe in God. And then the final question, which is the hurdle of this whole issue, is that I ask him, well, do you know what God is? And a lot of people answer, we don't know, or we do know. So that varies from one to the other. But my goal is to get everybody to know the answer, which is the subjective characters of God. In Islam, God has called himself 99 names. God subhanahu wa ta'ala have called himself 99 names. Each name is a description of something specific. And since we are ambassadors on this earth, what I usually use in a therapeutic session is that I tell everybody, if God has all of these characters, we should have a little bit of it in each and every one of us. Don't you think that you should have some mercy in you? They say yes. Don't you think that you should have some compassion in you? They say yes. And then we'll go on and on and on about all the characters that we need to have within ourselves. And that's the value of therapy. That's the value of spirituality. Because without that, you find a person is very uncomfortable with themselves. And that's usually how it starts. Feeling uncomfortable, feeling estranged from everybody else, feeling estranged from themselves, feeling distant from themselves and from others. So we need to take a look at that very closely and begin to apply everything to our own selves. Begin to apply the knowledge that we have into our lives. So now, let's take a look at what are the moral values that we learn from today's episode. The moral values is that if we have a very minute things or very minute parts of God's names within each and every one of us. Just imagine when I talk to somebody and I tell them, well, just imagine if you have all of these characters within yourself and you just need to activate them. He will just look at me and say, well, how am I supposed to activate them? So we have to go back to everything that we've been talking about so far. We can't take one piece and leave the other piece. It all goes together. It's like part of the puzzle that's made out of 1,000 pieces together. And we have to put it all together in order for us to come with a complete picture. And that's what we're talking about today, is that talking about it could be easy. Realizing it could be easy. It's not all that easy, but it could be easy for somebody to do, to realize all of these issues. What's not easy is that we have to apply it on our daily basis. We have to, it's what I call self-exertion. That's the fighting myself. That's the main issue of taking care of myself. It's not just giving into my desires, but it's actually fighting myself and doing what I'm supposed to do. So now, if I have somebody who has no directions in life, if I have somebody who's coming and feeling empty from within, that's a psychological makeup of somebody who is on the verge of depression. So what do? I start filling them up. It's almost like you fill the cup. And how do you fill the cup? You fill the cup by knowing your values. You fill the cup by feeling comfortable with yourself. The more you get to know about you, the more you'll find out that you are comfortable in your life and you're not running on empty anymore. You have things to give to other people. You have things to give for yourself. So it is such a comforting approach. And I've seen this in the faces of hundreds of people that I've dealt with before, that I've treated before, that they get this sense of comfort. And it becomes apparent on their faces, on their facial expressions, that they actually, all of a sudden, they know a direction in their lives. So I urge everybody to have a direction. If you do not have a direction in your life and you feel like you don't want to do anything anymore, you have to figure out a direction for yourself. And that's what we need to do. It begins all from within. I'll leave you with these words and we'll meet again in different episodes of Words of Wellness. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.